What makes a star stand out isn't just the points or the highlights. It's the way they move through moments when the cameras don't expect anything. That's exactly what Caitlin Clark keeps showing every time she steps into a new space, whether it's a packed arena, an LPGA Pro-Am, or a crossover event that brings different fan bases together. We talk all the time about the Clark effect on the Indiana Fever and the WNBA. Attendance spikes, TV ratings, ticket demand, but what we saw at the recent LPGA driven by Gainbridge Pro-Am at the Annika was something that explains her reach better than any graphic ever could. Before her next swing, before the quiet crowd reset around the ropes, Caitlin did what she always does. She took time for people. A young golfer named Nguyen, making her LPGA debut, stepped up with her family. It was a simple interaction, the kind that gets missed most days. Caitlin leaned in with a smile and a Sharpie and asked, "Do you care where?" Lauren turned to her mom and echoed it back, "Mom, do you care where?" It was so honest, so human, that the moment exploded online. No staging, no press release, just the most talented rookie in the WNBA making space for another athlete at the start of her own path. That's the model. That's the brand. And it's why people who don't watch women's basketball still know who Caitlin Clark is. This is what the WNBA needs at scale. Real connections that cross age, sport, and audience. Caitlin's success isn't just about three-pointers or transition passes. It's about how she fits in a room with fans, how she lifts someone else up, and how she carries that consistency into places most athletes treat as casual stops. These moments matter for the league's footprint. Every fan who came to the course because of Caitlin left with a story, a clip, and a reason to watch Indiana Fever games this summer. That's how growth actually happens. And then came the jersey exchange that pushed the day right into crossover culture. NASCAR driver Carson Hocevar showed up ready to trade. Race-worn gear for a Fever jersey. Two very different athletes, one carving through space at 200 miles per hour, the other slicing through defensive schemes at full speed, meeting in the middle to show respect for the grind. They traded logos, swapped a few jokes, and talked shop. Carson offered track pointers. Caitlin teased jumper advice. It was fun. It was natural, and it was exactly the kind of bridge that helps the WNBA reach sports fans who haven't tuned in yet. That wasn't all. As Caitlin worked through her round, two familiar faces stood just outside the ropes doing what teammates do even when there's no scoreboard. Cheering, encouraging, and keeping the mood loose. Lexi Hull and Sophie Cunningham were all energy. "Let's go, Cece," they yelled after a clean swing, clapping like it was a fourth-quarter possession. At one point, Sophie threw on a faux serious voice and pretended to analyze Caitlin's form. Lexi filmed, laughing and tossing out a friendly warning, "Just don't hit the pond." Caitlin cracked up mid-waggle. You couldn't fake the chemistry if you tried. That's a big part of why this Indiana Fever group is so easy to root for. There's trust on the court and friendship off it. It shows up in the way they travel, the way they celebrate small wins, and the way they give each other space when the spotlight crowds in. It's not just a marketing tagline, it's real. The WNBA audience is smart. They can tell when a team truly enjoys being together. For the Fever, this energy will be a weapon when the schedule gets heavy. Let's talk about fan reaction because it paints the picture. "Do you care where?" became a meme within hours. People loved how genuine it felt. One person wrote, "Caitlin treats everyone like they matter. That's what greatness looks like." Another said, "The way Lexi and Sophie hype her up, that's culture. That's what a team should be." And then there were the crossover fans. Race fans chiming in because of Hocevar, golf fans curious about the Fever now. That's a win for women's basketball. Every sport wants that effect. One player opening doors for everyone else to walk through. Zoom out and look at what's really going on here. Caitlin Clark is crossing sports and screens in a way very few athletes do. She shows up, she performs, she respects the moment, and she finds time to do the little things. These aren't photo shoots, they're touch points. Products of who she is and how she handles fame. That's why sponsors lean in. That's why networks keep giving the Fever big windows. And that's why young athletes like Lauren Nguyen feel seen. If you're the WNBA, this is the blueprint. Build access points into the broader sports world. Men's leagues have been doing it for years. Now's the time to double down for women's sports. Crossover appearances, crossover broadcasts, co-branded moments that introduce women's basketball to a wider audience. Those jersey swaps aren't just cute, they're strategy. Today it's an LPGA Pro-Am, tomorrow it's an NFL sideline, an NHL practice, an F1 weekend, a global skills showcase. You grow your league by meeting fans where they already are and giving them a reason to follow you back to the game. There's another layer to this moment, the way Caitlin balances star power and sincerity. It's rare. You saw it as she wrapped up her round. She waved to the crowd. She signed extra shirts, posters, and golf balls. She took a second with the fans lining the rope, not for the camera, for people. She doesn't act like she's too big to do the little stuff. That matters. That's not branding, that's leadership.
Let's pivot to what it means for the Fever specifically. Indiana has a chance to be one of the league's best attendance stories again this season. They've got the brightest young star in the WNBA, a home schedule that draws road crowds, and a core that's starting to settle. Lexi Hull's two-way game gives them a wing who can defend and stretch the floor. Kelsey Mitchell remains one of the best scorers in the league. Nalissa Smith is finding consistency. More reps together will tighten rotations. Add role players who understand their assignments, and you've got a group ready to turn attention into wins. Team chemistry isn't decoration in the WNBA, it's impact. The schedule is compact, travel is intense, the margin is slim. Teams that genuinely enjoy playing together dig themselves out of rough patches faster, handle media cycles better, and grind through back-to-backs more efficiently. That doesn't show up in the box score, but it shows up in May when somebody has to hit a late three in Seattle after a cross-country flight. That's real. That's where culture shows. Let's hit the business side because it's part of the picture. The Fever should lean into this. Host cross-sport nights, NASCAR night with Hocevar back in the building, golf night with LPGA guests, baseball night with special jerseys. You get those fans into the arena once, then the game keeps them there. The same way women's basketball fans embrace tennis, track, soccer, and gymnastics when a star shows up, you need that return energy for the WNBA. The Caitlin Clark effect is bigger than one team. It's rising tide growth for the whole league. A quick word about the LPGA crossover itself, because it matters. Women's sports supporting women's sports is not just a social headline. It's an economic reality. Golf and basketball live on different calendars and in different spaces, but they share an audience in families, young girls who play multiple sports, and fans who appreciate excellence. Amplifying each other multiplies reach. That autograph moment with Lauren wasn't just sweet, it was a signal. This generation of women athletes understands how much bigger the mission is: visibility, access, and growth for everyone. Back to Carson Hocevar for a minute. If you missed it, go find the clip. That jersey exchange was the kind of easy, organic crossover fans love. Hocevar brings his personality and fan base. Caitlin brings hers. The exchange makes both ecosystems feel more connected. If you're thinking strategically, this is the model. Pair your rising stars with other emerging names. Tell stories that highlight work ethic across sports. Use those moments to drive viewers to tune in to Fever games, to buy WNBA League Pass, to get in the building when the schedule brings games to their city. Let's also acknowledge the role teammates play in how stars scale. Lexi Hull has been a consistent, steady presence. She defends, she spaces, she fits. She also shows up off the court when it counts, which helps keep everything stable. Sophie Cunningham, a veteran who plays with edge and personality, adds that familiar voice fans resonate with. Even when team logos don't match across a season, the connection between players helps fans follow the league beyond one roster or city. That's good for everyone. Fans who were there at the Pro-Am couldn't stop smiling. People shouted her name for one last autograph at the exit. She waved, signed a few more, and left with that grin that says she's still somehow surprised by all of this. It felt like the right ending to a day that was built on respect, joy, and crossover buzz. Now, let's talk about what all of this means for the WNBA season ahead. Specifically, Indiana needs to turn all of this energy into basketball results. That means pace, space, and better defense at the point of attack. It means turning defensive rebounds into easy offense. It means getting Caitlin off the ball at times to create clean looks, using ghost screens and misdirection to get her the ball where she can punish weak coverage. It means trusting that the chemistry you saw on the golf course can help you in a 2-point game with 3 minutes left. That's the next step, not just being the biggest ticket in the league, but being the team that backs it up with wins. From a league point of view, keep putting the Fever in big windows. Fans want to see Caitlin. They also get familiar with the whole league when she plays. That's how audiences grow, through gateway games. Add strong commentary and on-screen telestoring around Lexi Hull's development, Kelsey Mitchell's case for all WNBA, and the Fever's improvement on the defensive glass. Convert casuals to regulars. Let's be honest about what's happening. Caitlin Clark has reached a level where everything she touches gets amplified. The autograph for a rookie golfer, the jersey trade with a NASCAR driver, the laugh with teammates at a Pro-Am. These moments are why sponsors lean in, why networks assign more cameras, why fans bring kids to arenas. It's impact. It's also a responsibility. And so far, she's meeting it with humility and that spark that puts people at ease. The WNBA has momentum. The Indiana Fever have momentum. Days like this turn momentum into movement. You maintain the growth by stacking meaningful moments that bring more people into the game. You keep building the ecosystem around the league, media, partners, crossover events, community connections. You protect the core product, great basketball from athletes who deserve the biggest stage possible. Caitlin's day at the Anika checked all those boxes. If you're new to the WNBA because you saw a clip from that Pro-Am, here's the easiest next step. Pick a game and watch it start to finish. Pick the Fever, pick the Liberty, pick the Aces, but watch. Listen to the communication. Track the spacing. See how defensive rotations work and how quickly teams adjust. You're going to find the game isn't just exciting, it's smart. And if you stick around, nights like the one we just saw turn into weeks, then seasons. That's how leagues grow.
Before we wrap, one last thing that keeps sticking with people. Do you care where? It's a small sentence, one you might forget a day later if it came from someone else, but it's perfectly Caitlin. It's patient and kind. It makes the other person the main character for a second. And honestly, that might be the secret behind all of this. She competes as hard as anyone, but she sees people. You can't teach that. You can only hope the league keeps building around it. From the autograph that launched 1,000 retweets, to an unexpected jersey swap, to teammates yelling across the ropes with joy, this was everything the WNBA should be aiming to deliver all year. Crossover moments, genuine connection, and a star who keeps the focus on the game and the people who love it. We'll keep you updated with more WNBA news, Indiana Fever coverage, player features, and the business moves driving women's basketball. If you were at the Anika Pro-Am or saw clips from it, drop your thoughts. Which moment hit you the hardest? The autograph, the jersey swap, or the sideline support from Lexi and Sophie? What do you want to see from the Fever this season? And where should the next crossover event happen? Make sure you're subscribed. We'll break down Indiana's schedule, track the league's attendance trends, and get you closer to the players who are shaping the WNBA's future. Basketball meets golf, meets racing, meets a million new fans. That's the momentum. Now it's time to turn it into wins.